Okay, it's recording now.
All right. So, I mean, you're the host. Would you wanna explain what's going on?
All right. So we've got Mr. Germany, we've got Mr. Lightsaber, and we've got Mr. Nerd here, and we're here to debate on who wins out of Naga, Sadow, Exar Kun, and Freedon Nadd. I am backing Exar Kun, I think. Mr. Germany over there, also known as Darth Eternus, is backing Naga Sadow, and Magnus is backing Freedon Nadd. And the way he was talking about Freedon Nadd, I think, is more passionate than the way he talks about his own wife. So, just a bit of concern. Please say she wasn't in the room. Oh, that was a joke. That was a joke, wife of Darth Magnus. That was a joke.
Nah, she can't hear you, man. I got you on Bluetooth.
Oh, okay. I hope no one walks in, because then you just look crazy, just staring into a screen speaking.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Nah, she knows what's going on.
All right.
So we're all good, man. So how do you want to start off? Should I go first about why I think Freedon Nadd would win?
Actually, no. We'll let Eternus go first, because I have a feeling that since he has to leave, and I have a feeling your argument will probably be reasonably long. So, Eternus, take it away in your German accent.
You got it.
Okay. So, in my opinion, Naga Sadow would win. Because let's look at his feat. So he could project force illusions that actually fooled the entire Republican army for a while, and his battle meditation was unrivaled at that point. And I also believe that he was, when it came to person-to-person fighting, that he was extremely skilled, that he could defeat Ludo Crash in single combat, and yeah, taking over the Empire with it. So that's actually everything I really know about his feats.
Alright, that's
yeah, but he hasn't that strong feat under his belt either.
That's a good baseline argument.
Yeah, so and I think didn't he crush the sun into the fleet? So that was a pretty crazy feat too.
He wrenched fire down from the stars, and he caused a mass supernova.
Yeah,
that is
implication from his
that is cool as well.
But that is the version we are.
It was the Primus Golud binary star system, if I'm remembering correctly.
I believe you are correct.
Yeah, because that was the route that they found, like, straight to Korriban.
Yeah.
From the Empress Teta system to Primus Golud to, Korriban.
Space. Yeah, that's interesting.
Okay,
good opening argument. All right, I'm gonna let a Magnus go next, because I'm a lot better at rebutting, and I have a feeling that'll be my time to shine. So, a Magnus, take it away, Mr. Freedon Nadd enthusiast and possible lover.
Okay, lover, yes. All right, so we have Freedon Nadd. Okay, so we'll just go over some of his accomplishments. So one of the reasons why he didn't become a Jedi was from his humility. They wanted to see how he would face rejection, which obviously he failed that test. He then went off into Sith space, and he eventually found King Adis's holocron and started learning dark side techniques from there. Okay. Then he learned the location of the last Dark Lord of the Sith, Naga Sadow, and he ventured to Yavin 4. Now, on Yavin 4, he fought the Masasi warriors and was actually one of the only people, there were a few others, but one of the only people that was able to, with his new dark side abilities, fend them off. They found him worthy, and as he entered Naga Sadow's chamber, He woke him from stasis. Sadow found him as a worthy apprentice. Trained him like in everything that he knew. I think he made his holocron before he slew Naga Sadow. I'm not entirely sure about that. But eventually he slew Naga Sadow. Now, I'm not saying that he's better than Sadow just because of that. Sadow was like a very old man at that point, so, you know, that's that. Shortly after that, he set out for...
Freedon Nadd made his holocron after. He made it after he conquered Onderon. Okay,
so he was a risky guy.
Yes.
He didn't know if he was going to beat Nadd or not. Okay, cool. I like risk takers. So yeah, he was a Dark Lord of the Sith. He felt content with ruling over one planet, which went on for decades. I think, what was it, like at least 2 centuries before they sent like a Jedi strike team to like take him down, if I'm not mistaken, or it might have been 1 century.
It was around that.
It
was around that.
But he had decades of perfecting the Sith alchemy that Naga Sadow had taught him into such deadly techniques that even Darth Xana would use them later on to defeat Darth Bane. And due to these decades of training and his physical prowess, that's why I think that he would beat Exar Kun, was because Exar Kun, even though he knew a lot, he only had like 1 to 2 years of learning Sith alchemy. So if he had a longer period to learn Sith alchemy, Exar Kun, for sure. I have no doubt that he would beat, Freedon Nadd. When it comes to dueling, I think Exar Kun would beat Freedon Nadd, even if Nadd was in his prime. But I ultimately believe that his alchemy was so deadly that he would have been able to take out Kun before any of the major fighting had commenced. So that's why I believe Freedon Nadd would win.
Alright, interesting argument. I want to highlight one thing. Your argument is entirely dependent on skill and mastery, not necessarily inherent power. Sort of like a Dooku versus Anakin argument. Anakin was the much more blatantly and bluntly powerful of the two. It's reflected in his fighting style. But Dooku was far more skilled and experienced. It's why he was able to consistently best him over the Clone Wars. It's similar to this, and I'm discluding Sadow just for a second here. Kun was much more blatantly and inherently powerful. Freedon was just much more masterful, and he had more time. That's like the entire thing your argument hinges on.
Yes, that's actually correct. That's the crux of my argument. That if Kun had, let's just say, if he had like 5 years, just 5 years, he would have surpassed Freedon Nadd from his decades of experience. Because he had, like, Kun was very in touch with the Force. He was very good. Nadd was too. Don't get me wrong. But like I said, it took him decades to learn all those skills.
All right.
So yeah, time is a big factor.
Okay, I can see that. All right. So, curious. I'll ask both of you this: what do you think is the power hierarchy for the three? Like, what do you think the power hierarchy in like order from most to least powerful goes? I'll start. Mine is Kun's the strongest, Sadow's second, Nadd is the weakest, which is going to make Darth Magnus's blood boil. But your guys' turn.
A little bit.
The pump is coming.
The pump is coming. You want to go next?
Yeah.
Yes.
I would say Nadd, Kun, Sadow.
So wait, Nadd is the strongest. In yours is Nadd
I think so. I'm not sure. 1 or 2 could be replaceable. It could go either way, but for me, it's clear that Sadow ends 3rd place.
Okay.
I can agree with that. Sadow being 3rd place. Yeah, I can agree with that. And now, when you say like in terms of power,
our old debate. our old debate, Valkorion versus Palpatine versus Nihilus. What's happening with that?
That'll be the next one.
Next time.
That'll be next time. Which,
Okay, so we didn't throw it away or something.
I have a long weekend, so I could actually do it this time tomorrow, or a bit earlier. I have a long weekend, so I literally have. I can do whatever I want
tomorrow.
So like,
I might be able to.
I'm just saying it is a possibility.
Yeah, so I would back Tenebrae, that's for sure.
Yeah, okay. I'm happy to back Palpatine, and Magnus can back Nihilus because I know he wants to, and I can see the smirk creeping across his face. All right.
That's right.
Now, do you want me to start? Sounds arrogant, but I am arrogant. Do you want me to start dismantling your arguments?
Yes. Well, wait, hold on. I didn't go first for the hierarchy.
You go.
Okay. So mine would be Nadd, Kun, Sadow.
Ooh. That's interesting.
In terms of power.
I'm seeing a lot of Naga Sadow hate. Like Sadow had the IQ of a toddler, but like he could rate the fire from the stars. So, all right.
I mean, that is true. Yeah.
This is the thing. It's a whole different argument, and we probably should have specified this. It's a whole different argument if you're talking about Sadow in his meditation sphere or Sadow out of his meditation sphere. Because the thing is Sadow in his meditation sphere, I'd say he's still the second strongest. I think him out of it is still stronger than Nadd, but I'll get into that. I'll get into that in a second. So are you guys good for me to start doing my argument?
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
So first point is that Exar has insane potential. Like, it's mental. He has higher potential than Yoda. He has nearly as high potential as Sidious, and it was even noted that he had similar tendencies to what Sidious did. Exar had an innate darkness within him from when he was an apprentice as a Jedi that he didn't even know about, similar to what Sidious had. Sidious in the Darth Plagueis novel is illustrated as being someone who has a lot of inner darkness but isn't aware of it. A megalomania complex, if you will. Now, Kun is a better lightsaber duelist than Sadow and Freedon Nadd put together. And I think that's the one...
I can agree with that.
We can agree with that. Because it is stated... Let me just grab my source here. It is stated... It was stated by Dan Thorsland, who is one of Lucasfilm officials. It was stated that Exar Kun as a Jedi, and this is before he became a Sith, was more formidable than Darth Vader. Vader being someone who was noted to be possibly the most skilled lightsaber duelist of the Empire era and the prequels, which would include the likes of Yoda, Palpatine, Mace Windu in The Office, Obi-Wan Kenobi. So Exar Kun as a Jedi is already roughly around that tier 2 lightsaber dueling level.
I can agree with that, yeah. Especially because he fought off both his fellow students like in a row and then beat Vodo Sios Bass.
Yeah, exactly. And
all
Bass
three in a row.
Master.
Yeah.
Bass was a battle master, which was insane. And he was even toying with Bass the entire time. He was trying to coerce Bass into the dark side. He wasn't like taking the fight seriously. It was more like a...
Well, you got to remember too, when Kun had just one lightsaber, Bass was able to beat him. It was only when he started dual wielding, that's when his true dark nature came out, and he just started pummeling until his force sensitive or force imbued staff broke.
Yeah, exactly. And that staff was noted as being stronger in the Force than any lightsaber ever.
Yeah.
Alright, so starting off with Kun's feats. Kun telekinetically levitated a Dorifian-class battleship out of the depths of a massive temple on Yavin 4. This feat is similar to the likes of Darth Nihilus, Master Yoda, and Tulak Horde, all of whom are among and consistently stated and hyped to be some of the most powerful characters in the entire franchise, to be honest. more. Kun was noted that if he was not stopped, he would threaten every single galaxy within the entire universe, and that potentially no one could stop him.
I could agree with that.
Yes.
Yeah.
He also engaged with Keldroma for hours on end, and neither really got the edge over the other one. But it was implied by Marco Ragnos that Kun would have won because he anointed him as the Dark Lord of the Sith.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
That's why he made Ulik the Shadow Hand. Yeah.
This is a very important fact, and this immediately scales Kun above Sadow. Kun was anointed specifically by Marco Ragnos. Ragnos having ushered in the Golden Age of the Sith. The Golden Age of the Sith being likely and statistically the most prosperous era of Sith history. Likely due to Ragnos being one of the most powerful Sith ever. The thing is that earlier, during Marco Ragnos' funeral, Ludo Kresh and Sadow had not been explicitly anointed by Sadow, by Ragnos, even though he had made an appearance in his astral presence. So this explicitly puts that version of Sadow, so Naga Sadow basically at his prime, below the likes of early Sith Kun. And while that's not Sadow with his Corsair, and that's a different argument, it's still insane height for early Sith Kun.
Well, wait, hold on. Because Marco Ragnos' figure appeared before Ludo Kresh and Naga Sadow to simply warn them that the ship was coming from the Republic. So he could have anointed one of them if that ship hadn't come in and interrupted anything.
Exactly. Ragnos, it's stated in the Dark Side Source book, Ragnos only saw two beings, well not stated, but like it's alluded to, that Ragnos only ever saw two beings as worthy of continuing the Sith, and that was Vitiate and it was Kun. And not Sadow or not Ludo, because he saw Sadow as too reckless and too impatient, because Sadow wanted to get back and just belt up the Republic. Which, in a way, he nearly did.
Yeah.
All right. Now I have two more ridiculous statements and feats that should.
I have a question.
Yep. Ask away.
Because so I know that Marco Ragnos wanted Vitiate as a successor, but then Nostura stated in his holocrons, in his history thing, that the old Sith and Marco Ragnos supported Kun because they were against the Emperor. So apparently he did change his view.
Exactly. He did change his view. That's the thing. So he then eventually saw Kun as a worthy successor.
Because at that point he was still in hiding.
In part.
So he didn't do anything destroyer of world stuff. So why would he change his view?
He changed
because of what Vitiate did to Nathema.
Sort of like, the thing is that was the period of Vitiate's life where he was getting consistently encountered by spirits of the ancient Sith, and he feared them to an immense extent. Specifically, Sadow and Ragnos, he thought could possibly kill him. This was before the Revan novel, so this was before the Star Wars: The Old Republic game. So this was when Vitiate was still not weak by any means, but he wasn't near his peak. So he thought that they could overcome him.
He had no bodies.
Yeah, he had more bodies.
He had no essence transfer.
He did have essence transfer by that point.
He had one body, but he didn't have voices. So
he didn't have.
Oh no,
Anyway,
I thought he already knew essence transfer by the time came around.
But I think the thing with voices and Valkyrian started after the Revan novel, because Revan nearly assassinated him, and then he took he tried to get two new bodies. But I thought that prior to this, only Tenebrae the Red body was new.
He had two. The thing was he knew essence transfer. He just didn't use it because he saw himself as too all powerful to possibly be overthrown. Revan took that view away from him and made him perceive that he possibly needed vessels. It also had him put his original Sith pureblood body into stasis in deep space, so that way it could never. So that way he always had sort of like a last resort if worse came to worse.
Is that why he had like the three different bodies, the pureblood one, and then the body that was kind of bluish? Was because it was just him being.
Voice. That's the Emperor's voice visage, the blue one. That's why he had the 3 bodies. He had multiple others. He had multiple other human ones while he officially ruled the Sith Empire, but those were like the main ones. Alright, next thing about Exar.
I'm surprised that... Okay, yeah, go.
No, you can talk after this. It was stated that the power that Exar and Ulic were... like, the power that they felt after being anointed by Ragnos was greater than all of the magic and power that Alima Keto had garnered, and that included the power of the spirit of Freedon Nadd had imbued her with. So that's a basic, blatant statement saying that at that time, Exar was superior to Freedon. And just to add to that...
He didn't...
Yep.
Well, I was going to say, he didn't imbue his spirit with a Lima Keto. He just gave her...
Not his spirit, not his spirit. He imbued power within her while he was a spirit.
Oh, like kind of like what he did with King Omen and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. And the other thing I just want to quickly debunk about your argument is Freedon didn't really have as much time as you think. He died when he died before he turned 100. So he only had, of course he had a few decades, but then he went to chaos, so he couldn't do anything. And then he was eventually re-summoned by King Omen during his lifetime. And so Freedon didn't have a lot of time. Well, he had like more time than most, but he didn't have a lot of time in the grand scheme of things. At least not as much as you were alluding to.
Yeah, but I mean, still, even with those decades, that's much more time than what Kuhn had. Kuhn had like a year and a half.
That is true.
But
that's why I have...
That's why I'm saying, like, these techniques... That's why I'm saying, like, these techniques that he learned, like... And you can see it in the Darth Bane novels, the things that he taught, Xana, that she ultimately used to defeat Bane. Like, these were techniques that Kuhn wasn't even aware of. Plus, not only that, but Exar Kuhn tried to make himself immortal. And he basically kind of he failed the experiment. Like he was, what was it? It was, it's like he made his spirit be able to come back. Yeah, he made his spirit be able to, like, come back, but it took thousands of years for his spirit to gain, like, any strength.
Ooh,
whereas when...
You're a tad mistaken there. What happened with that ritual was Exar was given about 0 prep time. Because the Jedi were on his doorstep, they had just beaten him, and they were coming to Yavin 4. So he had about, I'm not going to say like 30 minutes, but he did not have a lot of time to get that ritual done. So he basically learned...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He learned that basically on the fly, and he nearly succeeded. He nearly succeeded in the ritual, and it is stated. The only reason he didn't was that all the Jedi combined their power and managed to thwart him with the use of the Wall of Light, which didn't kill or do anything with his spirit. He was still active, and it was stated around the time after the hero of Typhon killed Vitiate, that his power as a spirit at that time was on par with Vitiate at that time. So before he became Valkorion.
Yeah. During Shadow of Revan, it was I think it was stated that Exar Kun and Vitiate were both on the planet while Revan tried to resurrect the Emperor.
They were both on Yavin 4 as spirits, and Satele Shan sensed them as near equal power. That's the thing.
Yeah. Well, because I know during the comic Redemption, Tales of the Jedi Redemption, Ulic was cut off from the Force, and Exar tried to, like, talk to him and stuff like that. But from all the knowledge that I've seen, like, I know he tried taking over some bodies from when the Rebels were there during, like, Luke Skywalker's time when they were using those temples.
Yes,
but
he did.
I had no idea that he had enough strength and power to actually do anything until Luke's new Jedi
Academy trilogy, because that's where he mainly came to play as a spirit. And that's the thing. There's two other statements I'd like to run you through with. The second one basically defeats any possible argument that anyone else could have on this topic. So I'm going to do the one that doesn't defeat it first. So
Does that mean that kind of Revan eventually saved Kun his life when later he resurrected him? Because I think if they were both on the planet, then Vishit would have eventually drained on Kun's spirit as well, wasn't he?
That's quite likely. The thing is that Magnus, you cited Tales of the Jedi comics as your main source of all of Freedon's like feats. In the Tales of the Jedi Omnibus Volume 2, it said that Exar Kun was the greatest and most powerful threat to the galaxy since the Galactic Republic was founded. That includes Sadow, that includes Freedon Nadd. That could be referring to the threat that he posed, not his inherent power, but it's also stated that when he became Dark Lord of the Sith, he became the ultimate power in the universe, which would put him above...
Well, here's the thing.
Yep.
The argument for that was it wasn't just Exar Kun alone. He had the Brotherhood of the Sith, he had the Krath, he had the Mandalorians behind him. That's what made him such a big, credible threat.
Yeah,
don't get me wrong.
I get what you're saying here.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. He had like that awesome power where he froze everybody in the Senate chamber and basically used the Chancellor as a puppet and then just killed him like right after, as he was toying with them.
Besides that, it was mental what he did. Not only that, he killed Odan who was more powerful than Vodosios Sparse. And after killing Odan
but he was so old. He was so old. He was like, oh.
But even after that, he gained the Dark Holocron, which is the most powerful and knowledgeable Sith holocron ever invented. Had more knowledge than anything else.
But he died after. After Ossus. He wasn't able to use this knowledge. He died right after that. No, the attack on Ossus is when the
timeline. You've got the timeline a bit mixed up. No, he didn't. He went into exile with Ulic, and he studied the holocron. That's how he reinvented his fighting style. He learned all the knowledge from the holocron before he came back out and started the Great Sith War.
Oh, okay. So wait, this is.
I'm leaving for now. Breakfast.
Okay.
But maybe I come back later. Okay. So
all right.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, we'll probably still be on.
Take it easy, Sam.
Bye-bye.
What?
Yeah.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Take it easy, Savage.
See ya, Darth Tennis.
Man, where's the off? Oh, no.
The off button. The off button is the big red thing.
Disappeared. No. Shit, how can I leave? It's...
I don't know. What does it do for mine? Oh, yeah. As soon as I click on my screen, turn your screen to the side. Because there's 3 of us. Turn your screen to the side and then click on it and there should be a...
yeah.
Yeah. I got you, man. All right, perfect.
All right.
Okay, so wait. Let me get this straight. He got that ultimate Sith holocron after killing Odin, right?
And then he learned all his knowledge from it, and that's...
Oh, yeah!
It's coming back.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, it is. He killed Odin and then he came out and he said that Odin died peacefully and gave him this holocron, and that's when he gathered up basically his Jedi sacrifices, and went to Yavin 4. Okay, but still, I mean, that's still like about 6 months before they started the Great Sith War.
It's actually 2 years. They went into...
Was it 2 years?
After they declared themselves like official dark side adepts after the sacrificing of the Jedi, they went into hiding for 2 years. That was when Exar reinvented his fighting style and learned all of the Sith magic and sorcery. Then he and Ulic came back out, and that's when they started the Great Sith War.
And then that's when Ulic got captured. And then Kun did this. Yeah, because I thought that was the most awesome thing about Exar Kun was just walking out like a complete Chad out of the Senate chamber And then his old master is like, all right, here we go, round two. And they're both trying to like talk each other into joining each other's sides. And then he just whips out the double-bladed lightsaber for the very first time.
And
Picture Phantom Menace when you see Darth. Yeah, just picture Phantom Menace when you see those hangar doors open and Darth Maul comes out and it ignites both blades. Yeah.
The other thing I would like to know is that there's a few other things I'd like to go through with regards to Exar. Exar broke Ulic out of the Wall of Light. The temporary one, not the one that bound him in his spirit. He broke Ulic out of that, and that was created by Vodo, Thon, Nomi, Silvar, Kekel Droma, Tot Donita, Dace Diath, Quil Tok, and Shinob Kulu.
Wait. I thought Ulic only got cut off from the Force from Nomi Sunrider.
Yeah, that was
just
after.
Her alone.
That was after when he got captured. He got bound in the Wall of Light. That was the reason Exar went, and that's what the Senate stuff happened. So he overpowered the pure power of all of those beings, which is
that makes sense.
Literally, it's a mental feat.
So, do you think that if Ulic didn't betray Exar after Nomi cut him off from the Force, and he was somehow still alive, he would have been able to break through Nomi Sunrider's Force blocking abilities to give him the Force powers back?
Probably, yes.
Exar's
just...
Alright, that's...
Exar's insane. And, I have a few more arguments to go over, but I do want to put in... Sorry, I got summoned by my mother, but it's all good. She said never mind because she realised I was on call. I have one big trump card argument, and that is from the Jedi Academy series. Exar Kun is...
Sorry, it's my cat. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Exar Kun is stated to be on a comparable power level to Dark Empire Sidious. Someone who is stated to have matched the power of Prime Valkorion.
How so? How was he?
When he was a spirit and he was fighting Luke and eventually tried to separate his spirit from his body, Luke explicitly noted, and I quote, that the power of Exar was as great as any he had ever encountered. This took place 1 year after the final death of Darth Sidious. So this would have included Sidious. This puts Exar on a comparable power scaling to that. Well, I don't think that he's a direct equal, because Sidious's feats are far better. The statement itself is mental, because that scales Spirit Exar extremely high. Top 10 at least.
Yeah, I already knew I was going to be fighting an uphill battle with this one. So I can definitely agree that Exar Kun was the much better duelist. Like, without a doubt, I think maybe only a few people could stand up against him. Maybe Tulak Horde, and that's like a maybe.
The only ones that could beat him more times than not. But I have a feeling that I have a feeling the only other person who'd be able to contend with him somewhat would be Yoda, because Yoda was superior to Vader.
Well, yeah, because I was going to say that because in Tulak Horde's time, they didn't have a double-bladed lightsaber.
No,
so he could have just
had single blades.
Yeah, I mean, he could have just really took him off guard by seeing that, but I don't know. Yeah, okay, so I agree with you that a duelist, he is better. Let me see if I can try and turn this back around in my favor.
I've trumped all your arguments. I was sitting on that for so long because I knew I had it up my sleeve.
I mean, I still think that Nadd, just his alchemy was in his prime. I still think that his alchemy was more deadlier than Kuhn's alchemy, from which he only learned from like a few years.
100%. I have no doubt that Nadd was the more skilled, but Kuhn was more powerful. Nadd, out of
Okay.
Sadow, Nadd, and Kun, Nadd was definitely the most skilled and masterful because he had a lot of time, even in his spirit form.
Yeah.
I'm talking. But I would say if there was a fight, Kun would beat Nadd. Because at the end of the day, Kun is going to obliterate Nadd in the saber duel. Nadd would probably be able to tell this from the first few moments of the duel, and then again, Nadd wouldn't be able to use any of his rituals instantly. Kun has a lot of other stuff he can fall back on, and Nadd doesn't really. He sort of has his spells, he has his alchemy. That's pretty much it. That's like the.
But he also has that. He also has the dark tentacles that he taught Darth Xana, which helped her defeat Bane. And that didn't take like any time at all for her to like power up.
There was a reason behind that, and that was because Xana was on a dark side nexus. She said she would not be able to do it, and that the creator, and she doubted anyone would be able to do it if she wasn't empowered by an external force.
So if they were on Onderon, wouldn't that technically be a dark side nexus?
Yeah, I know, but Kun would be powered on it as well. That's the thing, is that Kun was far more.
Hold on, give me one second.
Wait,
Yeah, get back in there. My cat just keeps. Sorry, man. He just keeps meowing at me. Sorry. Go ahead. Yeah, I know. he's a cute little guy, but sometimes he's just. I'm on the phone, you know. But go ahead. Good.
Oh yeah. Also, there is. I do have something. I do have something else to show you. A few things.
Okay. All right. I mean,
number one is that the Jedi literally sent their entire order because they thought that would be the only thing that would be able to stop Kun. They thought.
I thought that was because that was the only way to form a wall of light around the entire planet.
No,
as if they had to send every single Jedi.
That was a benefit from it. It wasn't the intent because they didn't know Exar was planning on sundering his spirit from his body. They only discovered that when they got there. In their mind, they were taking their entire order to beat him and to kill him, which is pretty insane.
Yeah, because at that point, the Mandalorians were already basically defeated on Duck.
Kun was just on his own. All of his other allies...
Yeah, and the craft...
Yeah,
the craft was gone. The Massassi were the only...
And even more...
the Massassi were the only people there.
Yeah, and he used them to fuel his ritual, because he needed them.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that directly scales Kun over Sadow is that it's stated that as of the lineage of Naga Sadow, which is Sadow, Freedon, Ulic, and Kun was by far the most powerful and dangerous of all of them.
Well, wouldn't it go Sadow, Freedon, Kun, and then Ulic, because Ulic was the Shadow Hand, so he would have been like the next in line to take the dark.
Together. Sort of like imagine a genealogical tree. Sadow's at the top, then Freedon, and then it branches off into both Ulic and Exar. And Exar's stated to be by far the most powerful out of all of them.
Okay, I can get behind that.
So that
all right.
Like if I don't think I need to prove my point anymore. I think I've succeeded.
Yeah, you kind of got me.
You don't.
I was really banking on that whole time frame, because I was just like, in my mind, I was just like, all right, Nadd has decades of experience learning the alchemy that Kun got a chance to learn, but he only had
didn't have the time,
like 2 years to learn it. Yeah, and that would have gave Nadd a bigger advantage. But you kind of just like if in Kun, if he had like, let's just say 5 years, he would have definitely outclassed Nadd. It was just, my argument was the fact that he had such little time to develop his skills.
Like, if you don't, well, you obviously understand the law more than most, but if you don't like have it to the like utmost, it is a very easy rabbit hole to fall down.
Yeah, and I think that's where I got lost down there until you just corrected me right now.
It's completely fair, it happens. I just want some more insane Exar Kun stuff. On Yavin 4, when the Jedi were attacking him, there were tens of thousands of Jedi there, and Luke Skywalker said that the entire might of the Jedi Order combined could not beat him, and when he was a spirit. And Kip Duron said that the techniques that Kun had taught him over about 6 months were far more potent than anything Luke had taught him in years.
Well, I mean, yeah, because such techniques had been lost for so long. Exactly. I mean, Sidious just basically hoarded all the knowledge and killed all the Jedi, so it's not like Luke, he wasn't exactly starting from scratch, but in a way he kind of was. You know, he had to like during the what is it? Not Heir to the Empire, Dark Empire, where he went back to Ossus for the first time and discovered you know, the Jedi Master Ood that was like a tree, you know, and then found all the lightsabers that he protected and stuff like that, and the Asana. You know, that's when he started kind of like learning more and more about like the ancient Jedi and things of that nature. So I thought that like what you were trying to say was at the time when Kun's spirit was around and put Luke Skywalker basically in like unconscious, you know, where he only had a corporeal form. I thought it was just like he was saying that he hadn't seen anything like that because there was, you know, all the lost records.
It's up to interpretation,
all the techniques.
But I think I've cleared that up for you now.
Yeah, you did. You did. I as Darth and Magnus, I concede.
Yeah.
You have won. You have won yet again.
Debate. Hold on. Wait. Did you join the Eternal Brotherhood of Balance server? Yeah, you did. Okay, hold on. I'm making a debate channel, and I'm gonna put the debate like tally up. So like every single time.
Are you talking about
the debate?
Are you talking about for Discord? Are you talking about for Discord or YouTube?
Yeah, I'm talking about the Discord. So like.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if you want to put those tallies up, I'll get one tally on there. I'm gonna get one tally on there one day. I will get there. I will get there one day.
So how many questions?
But today was not that day.
It was not. Question:
What's up?
How many debates have we done? Would you?
I would say like 20. At least 20.
All right. So 20. How many have you won?
0.
And I'm just gonna. Eternus definitely hasn't won any because we just included him in Debate Wars. So I'll just I'll ping you in the server into the channel where it is debate channel. So it's got the scoreboards: Star Wars Brainbusters and Magnus Eternus, Star Wars Brainbusters 20 and Magnus 0, Eternus 0. Holy shit!
All right. Well, shoot, man. Oh, and that's gonna be a new thread, right, on the Discord.
Yeah.
That's what you were saying. Okay. All right, cool. I'll have to check it out as soon as we wrap up here.
Yeah.
But
that's fair.
Yeah. So I concede. Yeah. I, as the head council member of the Eternal Brotherhood of the Balance, concede to our master historian once again, for obvious reasons. You know, he wouldn't be our lore master.
You did do better than I thought you would. Because the thing is you were able to somewhat put up an argument after the Kun scaling to Dark Empire Sidious statement, which normally no one can do, because they just take it as, oh, it's Sidious. Nadd doesn't touch him in any way. Which, of course, he doesn't. Anyway, absolutely lovely talking with you. I was looking forward to this all day, and now it is finally done with another victory under me belt.
Same here, man. I told you, even if I was going to lose, which I was pretty sure I was going to lose, I only had that one real argument going for me, that I was going to have fun regardless.
I'm going to give you a little insight here. What you should do before our next debate, which might be tomorrow, I'll ping you. You just ping if you want it to be tomorrow, and that will be Nihilus versus Sidious versus Vitiate. and we're all gonna have to
Okay.
pick. We're all gonna have to pick one. We're all gonna have to pick one side. So that'll probably be tomorrow. I'm gonna give you a little secret. So obviously I will be doing Palpatine. Eternus will be doing Vitiate, and you will be doing Nihilus. Recommendation: make like a list of stuff that Nihilus has done, or like feats, so that way when you're in the actual debate, you have something else to fall back on. So like if you say, oh, Nihilus was capable of draining entire worlds, and I say, oh, Vitiate was able to resist drain himself, you could then say, oh, well, Nihilus also had this going for him. Because that's one thing that, in my opinion, as someone who's debated a lot of people, you need more than one major argument. Because it's sort of like if a lightsaber duel. Because if someone disorients you even a little bit, you could get like a massive wound.
Yeah, and that's why I teach those drills, so that way you can have a sequence to fall back on.
Yeah.
So I know exactly where you're coming from. It's just your information's coming from a debate kind of side.
Yeah.
And there were a couple other things about the whole Nadd argument that I did kind of cover, with his feats and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, once you like kind of just destroyed the timeline part, I was like, damn, how do I come back from this? Yeah, I had no way of coming back from that one.
It. So would tomorrow be an option?
It's an option. It just depends on how well I feel. Like I said, earlier, I'm not going to say it while we're recording. Bathroom stuff,
Oh yeah, but good. Also, I have.
It's just in case. It's just in case.
Yeah. So you message if you can't do it. That's completely understandable. It happens. And I do have. I just put it in the group chat now. I have another debate thing that we can do, and it's Plagueis versus Ragnos versus Yoda.
Wait, before you do that, I think I was the one who chose this one, right?
Yes, you were.
The Cocoon, and then you were the one who chose the Sidious.
I think I see where you're going with this.
Yeah. So let's let Darth Eternus choose the next three candidates.
That's fair.
So that way we can just kind of have an even thing going on.
That's logical. He deserves to have a go. The thing is I'm trying to think of characters that are very interesting but are also quite obscure. I was thinking of the other day doing one where it's like the ones of Mortis versus other Force entities. But the thing is that there are very few people in the entire world that know enough about them to be able to mount a substantial argument. And it's just sort of like... Yeah. It's sort of like... It's hard to... It'd be hard even for me, because I obviously know all about them, but it's hard to really rebut, because there's not a lot of stuff for you to play with, like not a lot of knowledge.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's one thing I didn't like about arguing for Freedon Nadd, was because there's a lot of history of his that was like excluded, Yeah, and it was just basically you kind of just had to take the information they gave you and then just try to piece everything together, but you're mostly just making assumptions.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
As to where like Exar, you got to see everything play out, not just in the comics, but also in the Jedi Academy novels too.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then Shadows of Revan. I forgot about that one too.
Oh, that reminds me. I had to tell you one more really cool fun fact about Shadows of Revan.
Go for it.
So in Star Wars: The Old Republic, there's this entity called the Ancient Threat, and every single member of the strike team that was sent to kill Revan, all of the Jedi, all the Sith, etc., and like all of that, they sort of... what's the word? They were all unable to hurt him. They were all unable to hurt Revan because of the Ancient Threat. And that was created by Exar, Tulak, Naga, Sadow, and, if just my notes are correct, Yeah, Exar, Sadow, and Ragnos. And that was using a small portion of their power. So a small portion of their power was able to overcome some of the most powerful Jedi and Sith in the entire galaxy at that point.
Where's this information from?
If you want, I could
From Shadows of Revan.
Yeah, I could send you the thing. I could send you the thing. I have it on my computer. And it's processing in Discord right now, so yeah, there it is.
Oh, okay. Well then, yeah, that works too. Perfect. Yeah. All right. Because I definitely want to check this out. Because with like KOTOR and the SWOTOR, I got to play the KOTOR games because that was before the injury. But the SWOTOR, I just had to watch the gameplay. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's really good. It's one of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah, and like each, it was like I think like the first, when I was watching the Hero of Tython part, that was like a 6-hour video just to get through all the gameplay. Yeah, by itself. But it really helped me get a lot of information because at that point in time, Dorothy Turnus was the one that pointed this out to me last year. So that's why I started watching those videos and I was like, oh, damn. Okay, this is what I wanted. This is the kind of stuff I want to know about. So, unfortunately, since I can't play those games, I had a big chunk of the history missing, but yeah, it's just too bad Dark Horse is not allowed to.
And that's really good, and I like that type of stuff because you deserve to know about it. You're a very good person.
Oh, thank you, man.
No problem.
Thank you. I really do appreciate that. And likewise, dude, you're a pretty cool dude, man. Like you're one of the most you're arrogant, sure, but also how to be humble too, which brings you into balance.
I'm very much like that. I normally be arrogant as a joke, but it's just it's good because I know the thing is I know I'm great, but you guys you're gonna keep learning, and sure I may have learned nearly all there is to know, but you guys are like the future of it, and you guys are gonna keep learning.
Yeah. Yep, that's my goal, is just to continue, keep learning. Like, I learned so much from these debates, just from these debates alone, and not doing any of my own research. By the way, I have
a lot of knowledge.
Yeah, that's why I made you the master historian. Yeah, I'm glad that you accepted it. It was the perfect position for you.
And your brotherhood is very cool. I really like it. Oh, also, just one thing.
I'm glad, man.
One thing that was kind of flawed with your argument was you said that Kun was unable to return as a spirit. That was because there was a Jedi city beneath Yavin 4 imbued with light side energies that prevented it.
Oh, where did you get that information from?
Let me just check. Yeah, Knights of the Old Republic campaign guide. So KOTOR.
Okay.
I just put the statement in the chat.
I was actually the most disappointed in that game for not seeing Vima Sunrider at all.
Yeah, so was I. KOTOR is regarded by a lot of people as the best Star Wars game. It's overrated.
Mm-hmm.
Because, sure...
Personally, Jedi Academy is my favorite.
Character. Revan's a really good character, but, there's he's the only really good thing. And I never really liked Darth Malak, because Malak was always so overrated. People always said that he would one-shot Yoda, and Yoda is one of my favorite, and, in my opinion, the most powerful characters in all of Star Wars.
No, he would not one-shot Yoda. Yeah, no, he's not that powerful.
Yoda would wipe the floor with him. Shrek's left testicle would ground his ass.
Granted, okay, so you know how each Sith order kind of has their own best warrior and stuff like that. Yeah. Malak, he was pretty damn good as a swordsman.
Yeah,
but Ulic Qel-Droma, I would argue, was better.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I'd say Malak was if we were using another tiering system, I'd say Malik was below like Kenobi.
Mhm.
I'd say Malik was like tier 6, and Revan was on a similar level, maybe a bit higher than like Keldroma, Kaitis, Legends General Grievous, people like that. Because he was really good, but the thing is, Revan, that's the one bad thing about Revan and lightsabers. There's not a lot of stuff that's fleshed out about him with lightsaber combat. Exceptionally fleshed out with the Force, but like not that much with lightsaber combat.
He's the Keanu Reeves of the Star Wars universe.
Yeah,
that's what I always say. I always thought that Keanu Reeves would be a perfect character for him to play if he ever played Revan.
He'd be so good.
Yeah, he would nail it. He would nail it.
He really would, and he's such a good actor, so he'd be able to bring the role to life. And
that's another humble dude. You know, if I ever see him, I'm gonna ask him to join the Brotherhood. Because he is so balanced out, like it's just great, and I would love to see him play like Revan. I'm not so confident about Disney doing the Old Republic stuff, but only time's gonna tell. So yeah, but I guess we'll wrap this up, and I'll make sure I keep in contact with you guys for tomorrow. Oh yeah, it's getting pretty late for me, so.
You go 9-9, Magnus. You go 9-9.
When do you plan on posting this up onto YouTube?
Oh, posting it onto YouTube. It depends, because I'm using new software. So I probably might do it tomorrow. If not, I'll do it next week, because I only like posting long form videos on a weekend. So either tomorrow or next week. So I'd say probably next week, but hopefully tomorrow. All right.
Okay. That sounds good. All right, brother. Have a good night or a good day.
You too. See ya.